the story of a man named Brady. That this group must somehow form a family. That's the way we all became the Brady Bunch.
What's up everyone, I'm the Kaiju no Kami, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Mill Creek's recent Blu-ray release of Ultraman Ace from 1972. It's what you'd expect. We've got the regular edition here, flip case opens up, mirror on the side. We've got the case with discs in them. We have the booklet with a lot of stuff, the normal stuff, descriptions on the series, character bios, episode synopsis, and then like monster pictures. The steelbook here is pretty much self-explanatory. You get the slipcase, booklet, steelbook with the discs kind of stacked, 3 on each side. Ultraman Ace began life in the form of 3 different series that became one titled Ultra A. Unfortunately, Tsuburaya learned that that title had already been taken by a toy company, and as such, the name of the show became Ultraman Ace. From this point forward, every successor series would be titled Ultraman, unless our titular hero was going to be completely absent from the show for one reason or another. Instead of being Kaiju, the monsters of Ultraman Ace are known as Choju, or terrible monsters. By now, you should know what to expect from an Ultraman show, and yet, Ultraman Ace does manage to bring a few new aspects to the table. The question is, are these innovations fully utilized or wasted potential? Let's kick this review off by taking a look at the show's heroes to find out. The heroes. Unlike past Ultra shows, Ace introduced the concept of 2 people merging together to become the titular hero. At the start of the series, we are introduced to a bakery driver by the name of Seiji Hokuto and Yuko Minami, a nurse, who are killed by a terrible monster. Well, at least they went out with a bang. They are played by Kaiji Takamine and Mitsuko Hoshi.
ダックビ号の酸素は1時間足らずしかないんだ。早く助け出したい。協力してくれ。
でも、ウルトラマンエースは地底に潜る技術を知らないのよ。どうやって潜るつもり?
For some reason, Ultraman, Ultra 7, Zophie, Jack, and their newest 5th brother, Ace, witness this, and as such, Ace decides to share his life with the 2 of them, giving each of them a ring that will allow them to merge together in order to form him.
Twin powers, activate!
I'm not exactly sure why they were worth saving over actual officers and such who were probably killed that day, but okay. We never really saw them do anything heroic beyond Hokuto helping Minami's disabled patient get her wheelchair across some debris, and that was it. Minami was with her patient when Hokuto crashed into the monster, so does that mean she died too? How far did that explosion span to? There were a ton of kids that must have been in the vicinity too, since it was able to hit Minami. How many of them died? Or is that why Ace really chose them, to avenge the deaths of those kids?
お前たちは私の与えた大いなる力を知るだろう。
For a superior race, they really rub it in.
Adding further confusion is that Hokuto and Minami are recruited by the latest scientific military organization, the Terrible Monster Attacking Crew, or TAC, off-screen. After Ace gives them his rings, the next scene is of the duo driving off for their first day on duty. We don't know why they were chosen for TAC either.
大いなる力を知るだろう。
数日後、ウルトラマンエースの力を得た北斗星司と南優子は地球の守りタックに入隊すべく故郷を後にした。
Of course, the TAC crew are also pretty tactless when it comes to considering others' feelings. They will constantly belittle Hokuto and Minami whenever they make a mistake, while ignoring the fact that they were a baker and a nurse.
いや、それはですね、変なじいさんとばあさん。北斗、もういいから、早く帰ってこい。はい。
They were not regularly trained soldiers. What the hell is wrong with you? I really hate T.A.C as a group. They are a bunch of idiots who constantly have their thumbs up their asses and are always denying claims people make on seeing a terrible monster or some other odd event occurring.
8人もいた中でどうして1人だけが引きずり込まれたんです？おかしいとは思いませんか？無理もねえな。このパカパカ駅じゃみんな夢を見たんだよ。
北斗からの報告にも空が割れるというのがあった。単なる幻とはどうしても思えないんだ。
隊長、私はそうは思いませんね。大体空が割れるなんてことあるわけないでしょ。
It's their freaking job to investigate this crap. Yet, most of the time they will proclaim that person or persons as hallucinating or dreaming or some shit like that.
いくらタックでも夢の相手まではできないな。行くぞ。
Seriously, why are these guys part of the Earth Defense Force? They are inept clowns.
警視庁の主張するホログラフィー説を覆すだけの確証がなければ我々が動く必要ない。分かったな。
Anyway, back to the Wonder Twins. Hokuto and Minami also need to touch each other's hands in order to transform into Ace, so the show always finds a reason for them to get together in the heat of battle, even if they were on completely different ends of the city. Thus, we will sometimes get random antics, like them jumping out of planes to transform mid-air, crashing motorcycles into each other, or somehow touching each other through a computer screen.
誠司さん、手を出して。早く出して、誠司さん。
Yeah, it makes little sense. The oddity is that they blatantly transform for all to see, yet at the end of the show, we come to learn that apparently someone learning your identity as being an Ultraman means you are permanently transformed as that Ultraman for the rest of your life.
もしあなたがウルトラマンエースだということを誰かに知られたら、あなたは二度と人間の姿に戻れないのよ。
I think someone needs to let go. Hikaru and Daiichi know this. Oh, and Orb. And Jeed. And Zero. And yeah, what? We do get to learn that Hokuto's dad died when he was young, while Minami... I do think the concept of two people having to unite to form an Ultraman is a unique one, and one of the few things that makes Ace stand out. Sadly, Minami leaves the show halfway through because cooties, leaving Hokuto to fend for himself with both rings. You laugh, but apparently that really was the reason. Apparently kids in Japan didn't like the fact that they couldn't play Ultraman Ace on the playground because that required a girl in their group, and they weren't having that. As such, they just didn't like Ultraman Ace with there being a girl involved, so Tsuburaya removed it. I don't know if that's true, but it would make sense because Japan. It's very dumb and returns the show to being as repetitious as its previous brethren. It does not help that they don't even bother to do anything interesting with Hokuto after the fact either. He just continues on as if nothing has changed at all. They even give him a child sidekick following Minami's departure as if they were trying to recapture the relationship Go had with Jiro.
なんじゃないか。こんな夜中にどうしたんだ。
熱を出しまったんだよ。
かよこさんが？
そうじゃないんだ。アキラくんなんだよ。
Nothing comes out of this, however, as Jiro 2.0 just disappears for the last 9 episodes of the series.
なんだと？てめえ俺に文句あんのか？
だってこの裏道は情報だもん。ゆっくり走らなきゃいけないんだよ。
Ultraman Ace is just like the other Ultras, if not weaker due to how many times he has to be saved by them. I feel like every third episode had him being helped by one of his brothers in some form or another, which got really annoying since it meant he could never do anything on his own. Plus, it also meant he was never in any real danger since you always knew a brother was going to be there to help him out. Even some of his finishing attacks are thanks to his cohorts. Like with 7, Ace definitely enjoys chopping his enemies up. This show also introduces Father of Ultra, though I'm not really sure what he is supposed to be as the show never really tells us. Is he supposed to be their biological father? If so, how did the original Ultraman not know who Zolfi was in the original show? Is he the creator of the Ultraman? Is he the first Ultraman? Or is he called Father because he is the leader of their race? I really don't understand. Details, man. Details. As for T.A.C themselves, there's also a scientist who starts the show off as if he's important since he's their weapons developer named Kaji.
これはビッグレザー 5O です。レーザー銃を50倍威力に改良したものです。卵の中身を焼くには一番適すると思われます。
But he also ceases to exist halfway through the show. I guess it's not surprising considering Kaji doesn't even get a single episode to his name compared to the rest of the crew. Kono gets 2 episodes where we meet his niece and one where he gets to report a girlfriend who is never heard about after her introduction.
もしその時少女が現れて君が殺されたらどうするんだよ。
私はこの通りピンピンしてますよ。
誰このジャジャマ。
何よこのガリガリ頭のとっちゃん坊や。
何
You just got slapped. Oh, yes, it really just happened.
Surprisingly, there is one episode dedicated to Yoshimura where we get to meet his mother in his hometown, and he is also the team's musician. Yamanaka's fiance is killed by an alien Metron, so that sucks for him. Ryo is not as dumb as he looks, and he actually has the balls to punch a superior officer for giving an order he did not agree with.
北斗隊司令官命令だ。そのままこの打線に突入せよ。
Thank you. I wish all military personnel would do this to commanders who make stupid-ass decisions. As for Makawa, she might actually have the worst episode of all dedicated to her, as it revolves around a man who had a crush on her in high school and orders her to be his bride if she wants to continue breathing.
オーケーするまでここにいるんだな。しかし、あんまり意地を張りすぎて前の人みたいにならないようにね。
Damn! All of the members individually seem like they could be cool to hang out with until you see them in action. Then, as I said earlier, they all become a bunch of lazy-ass morons. How the hell these idiots replaced Mac is beyond me. I'm not even sure how long Mac lasted after Return of Ultraman because early on we do meet Jiro and Rumiko, who have barely aged a day since Return's finale. Did the events that caused the destruction of the TDF occur right after Go left Earth? What happened to the members of Mac? Were they all killed in that attack at the beginning? Why are they not in charge? Again, more questions with no answers. What's even more puzzling is according to Hokuto in one episode, he looks at a book dated 1969 and states he has been with TAC for 3 years.
最後の公開が今から3年前か。ちょうど俺がタックへ入隊した頃だ。
And then the Christmas episode dates the show as 1972. That entails that at least 4 years go by in this show, meaning Mac had to have been dissolved in 1969, even though I'm pretty sure they stated it was 1971 at some point in that show.
What year is it?
The Villains. Unlike his predecessors, Ultraman Ace features a main alien group that is trying to take over the world, known as Shocker. Wait. Sorry, wrong series. The group in this series are known as the Yapul, and they wish they were Shocker. They do pretty much nothing and are hardly seen, making the point of having a set of main villains moot. Even the show realizes this halfway through and gets rid of them despite their terrible monsters continuing to plague our heroes.
Who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who jewels.
As for the terrible monsters themselves, they are usually a bunch of creatures the Yapul experimented on where they would combine an earth-based critter or plant with that of an alien species. There are some that stood out for me, while the vast majority were just phoning it in, like this dude. There's also this one who proclaims himself to be the most powerful alien of all.
我らは宇宙で一番強い生き物、ヒッポリト星人だ。
Not with that design, you aren't. There's even one horrifying thing that is part pigeon that spits all over Ace. At least, I hope that's spit. I did like this jellyfish one. One that resembled a sphinx.
Walking like an Egyptian. All the kids in the marketplace say, well.
This Kappa-like creature with a swimming pool on his head. A walking violin. And Alien Steel had an interesting design that made me think of Buzzsaw from Silverhawks or Metal Man from Mega Man. Steel is easily my favorite of the show, despite his entire plot revolving around him stealing panda merchandise to start a craze on his home planet. I just can't make this up. This is serious business.
どうしてお前がパンダを？
人間があんなに夢中になっているパンダを我々の星へ持って帰る。
Oh, and Wu returns. The biggest waste of all the monsters goes to the one deemed Ace Killer. I have heard a ton of talk about this dude over the years, so I expected something grandiose from him. Instead, I got a fight that was barely 2 minutes long until it was over.
That was a bit anticlimactic.
My thoughts exactly. Very disappointing. He does not deserve his own section in the book. The effects and music. The effects and music are average? Subpar? Me? They kind of suck. The effects start out on par with what Return of Ultraman had, only to degrade over time. Superimposing scenes continue to look fine. There are still some really impressive looking miniatures, although I had no idea Japan had cities with a desert in the middle of them. And we do get a few cool looking battle scenes underwater and in a volcano. There's also some pretty cool fire effects used. The problem is, the work as a whole is all over the place. We have one episode with inconsistent weather effects, you would think this is Schrodinger's rainstorm or something. It's raining and not raining at the same time. The Ace suit also starts to deteriorate before the second half of the show even starts. I think they gave him another suit or something, since it doesn't always appear to have tears in the same areas in some episodes, but the fact that you can see this early on in the show is just repulsive. At least for 7, it didn't start to show its wear and tear until very late, and it was happening at a time when 7 was getting weaker, so it also worked within the confines of the story. Here, there is no excuse because Ace is always getting new powers and the like. Another thing the show really lacks is really good camera work. Most of it is pretty lackluster, with maybe 2 or 3 episodes doing anything interesting with the camera, and even then, only one of them can compare to the work of Akio Jisoji. Even the fight choreography leaves a lot to be desired for both Ultraman action and just watching tackle bad guys. The fight between Yamanaka and Mikawa's stalker is horrible. Some random nobody is able to take on a highly trained soldier? Okay then. And then there is the editing, which is all over the place. Sometimes I feel like I missed an entire scene that connected what happened in the previous scene and what was going on with the scene I was watching right then and there.
料タンクが空っぽです。不時着します。おい、北斗、止めるなら頼んだ。
はい、隊長、警察からです。
それはどうも申し訳ありません。本人と代わっていただけますか。
あ、もしもし、隊長？
もしもしもないもんだ。酒を飲んで空を飛ぶとは何事だ。
Outside of the opening theme, which is sung by Honey Knights, and a few other songs sprinkled throughout, none of the music is new at all. It's all just a reuse of tracks from both Ultra 7 and Return of Ultraman, which is very uninspiring. I should also mention the fact that the opening song remains the same even after Manami's departure, which also adds a sense of disinterest with the production of Ace. If you're removing one of the characters mentioned in the theme, change the goddamn lyrics. The episodes. Ultraman Ace is a mixed bag when it comes around to storytelling. For every one good episode, it's followed up by a bad episode. If there are 2 good episodes in a row, it's succeeded by 2 bad ones. It's very frustrating as the quality is all over the place. Some episodes are not bad, while others are just awful. For example, there is one outstanding episode about a ghost girl who is causing traffic accidents on a specific highway at 2 a.m. It's one of the few episodes of Ace that is truly horror-based and full of atmosphere. That one is followed up by a horrible tale about a boy and his pigeon. After that is a fairly decent one with a monster that for some reason is stealing children's belly buttons. While the next one deals with Hokuto getting into an argument with an officious prick who refuses to believe a cruise ship he is working on can fly without his knowledge. For a while, this was my least favorite episode of the series until I witnessed the terror that is a gift from Zophie. This entire episode is centered around bedwetting. You heard that right. Bedwetting. Wetting the bed. Going pee-pee in your sheets. A boy that constantly wets the bed dreams about a monster situated in a lake, and when he wakes up the next morning, the stain on the sheets is in the shape of the monster from his dreams, as that is where the monster is hiding. We then learn this from Hokuto.
君は今いくつだ? 8つか? じゃあ9つか? そうか。俺もまだその年には練習弁小僧だったな。
北斗さんも?
Do I even need to go on? This was not only the most displeasuring episode of the show I had to sit through, but it is also without a doubt the worst Ultraman episode I have ever watched, and it goes up there with being one of the worst Toku episodes I have ever seen. I cannot believe anyone with a reasonable mind would greenlight such rubbish. To add even further insult, Zophie evaporates an entire lake to help Ace.
湖の水は徐々に蒸発し、やがて湖底を白日にさらしたこのゾフィーからの贈り物のおかげで。
Our hero, everyone. On the other end of the spectrum, my favorite episode is the one titled The Giant Ant Terrible Monster versus the Ultra Brothers. In this one, women are randomly being devoured by a giant ant monster via a whirlpool of sand that appears below their feet. When this is reported to TAC, they naturally reject the claim as people hallucinating, which allows more women to be eaten by this immense creature.
Are you ready for the full course? Freshly picked for the flavor, sadistic pleasure. Don't stop feeding.
Once it nearly happens to Manami, TAC finally investigates the situation and discovers the oxygen-destroying beast. While it once again showcases the poor morale of Tak, it does feature a lot of atmosphere, suspense, and tension along with some great camera work and an interesting mystery to get behind. Even the villains are a fascinating lot who also seem to have no relationship with the Yapul. Funny enough, Zolfi also appears in this episode to help Ace.
ありがとう、ゾフィ兄さん。さようなら、ウルトラマンエース。
I do also want to mention another of my favorite episodes, which revolved around Hokuto having a toothache and visiting a very creepy dentist thanks to its Jisoji-like camera work.
先生、今のは
痛み止めの薬を詰めて、その上をカプセルで覆っておきました。2、3分もすれば痛みは止まるはずです。
Seriously, Ace, most of the time your camera work sucks. The Blu-ray. While the show may not be great, Mill Creek has provided us with a solid Blu-ray release that is near perfect. Video and audio quality continue to be superb, and there are no mistimed subtitles in this one. I didn't notice any misspelled words, especially monster. There were a couple of questionable translations though, which included some confusing lines to occur, such as, "You're getting slack." I'm not even sure what that really means. Were they trying to say you're slacking? What the hell is "you're getting slack"? Additionally, the subs in the episode I mentioned with the flying ship was a bit weird because at one point Hokuto discovers it did fly, cites this revelation, and the prick dude goes off on him, telling him it is not a ghost ship.
Oi! やっぱりこの船は空を飛んだぞ! なんだとこの野郎! この船を有利線にして機種をする気か!
None of that made any sense to me since Hokuto never once stated he thought it was a ghost ship. Finally, there are some inconsistencies with the subs, such as the case with an asteroid that is sometimes called Golan, other times called Goran.
燃える大惑星妖精ゴラン。
ゴランは太陽系に突入し、ゴランは半径およそ6300キロの惑星だ。
7日の地には必ず地球に激突する妖精ゴランに対し、ゴランが地球に接近する前に、宇宙間弾道弾マリア1号で粉砕しようとする作戦だった。
Overall, Ace is just a mixed bag of a series. There's just way too many inconsistencies with the narrative. Tak are a bunch of bumbling idiots who have no business being soldiers, and the fights themselves just aren't all that well choreographed or shot. As such, I'm going to give Ultraman Ace a generous 3 out of 5 grown-ups in spandex. It's a shame that a show that started out with so much potential squandered it all in the second half. I have no frickin' idea what the heck happened during the production of this thing, but if this is a taste of things to come for the remainder of the Showa era, then I am afraid. Until next time, bye.
Treasure!